the big franchises in the area, I mean, they've been operating for 10 plus years. So for me to gain on them, I just have to be super persistent. I have to be on top of my game.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Connections That Matter, where we interview Northern Colorado's best entrepreneurs and share their stories of how they're able to network and build connections that have helped their business grow. Today, I have a good friend, super networker, Mike Kane on the show today. Well, Mike, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, your logo's on the jacket, looking good, looking nice and clean. But you have one of those dirty jobs, as they would say. So tell me a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah, so Rubbish Works Junk Removal of Northern Colorado. We provide full service cleanouts, on-demand junk removal. So really it's, if you need anything hauled out of your house, you need your garage, basement, attic, whatever it is cleaned up, we show up with two guys in a big old truck and make it happen and make it disappear. So, and some jobs are really dirty, but we're not afraid of it all.
You're not afraid of it, but yeah. I know some people watching them like, how dirty does it get? Is it like, animals? Like, is it?
We won't handle, I'll say like, we won't handle bio cleanup.
Sure.
I do have referral partners for that. We won't handle like chemicals and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you name it, like bad. So a lot of times customers, sometimes they're embarrassed when we come over and they'll say, oh, it's not usually like this or whatever. And it's like, seriously, no sweat. I've literally seen it all. So yeah, if it's as bad as you can imagine, I've probably seen it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great place to kind of get into it is like clients, maybe they're finding you on through a referral or through your Google presence or something like that. And they've got this mess. Maybe they've been trying to clean it up or maybe they've been trying to do it themselves, but they're at the point where like, hey, I need some professional help. They call them in and like you said, they're embarrassed potentially. But you're trying to build relationships with these people where it's there. So take us through kind of that intake call to put somebody at ease.
I mean, for us, like we try to be compassionate and professional. That's kind of what sets us apart, right? Like there's a lot of different companies out there that can clean up or, if you have a pickup at home, right, you can take your stuff to the dump or to a donation center, whatever. For us, really, it's just, we try to find out what they have. Do we need special tools or whatever else? But oftentimes it's just approaching it in a professional manner where we put them at ease, right? So like sometimes someone's just gone through loss in their life or something like that, and they don't want to deal with that estate clean out because maybe it's just too difficult or too emotional. We've had situations where kind of like a hoarder cleanup or crazy stuff happens, right? And kind of what we offer to these people is we say, hey, like no judgment. This is what we do. The more, the better for us, to be totally candid. And we just come out and we give them a transparent price and make it go away really fast.
There you go. And you've, from what I've watched of you, Mike, like you just made a big splash on the scene. You're coming in there. You're getting some awards on it, which is good to see. Yeah. But as somebody who is getting into a space that, I hear of the other businesses are out there. What have you done? What's some of your secrets to get such a fast start?
Yeah. So as of today, we're up to almost 150 Google reviews. A vast majority of them are 5-star. I have one or two 1-stars. One was my fault. But yeah, I mean, we just go for it. So we just ask people flat out. So once we've completed a job, first and foremost, we always ask them, hey, did we complete everything the way you wanted it to? And once they're satisfied, we just flat out ask them. We make it really easy for them to get to the review point. And so we have tap cards, we have QR codes and everything, but we just really get aggressive about it and say, hey, we're a brand new business. If you were happy with us today, we'd love it if you shared, your thoughts online, because that really does help you with your credibility so much.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that probably took more effort was we just won Best of NOCO.
Yeah.
So
congratulations.
And junk removal is a brand new category. And there's a lot of other competitors out there. And there's a lot of companies, frankly, that are great. And they've been around for years. So really, I thought we had no chance, but we just went after it and asked literally everybody to write us in first, got on the ballot, and then we got enough votes to win. So
Well, I think that's cool is like you said, a client comes in, maybe they're embarrassed by their situation, and then you work with them and they're just so thankful and gratitude, not just to write you the check of what the invoice is, but to go and give you that 5-star Google review or take time out of their day to go vote or go advocate for you.
Yeah.
You said you're aggressive about it, but like take us through that more to if we could talk to other entrepreneurs who are trying to get that loyal following the way that you've been able to create.
I think honestly the biggest thing, so we make it easy for the customer, right? Like especially clients that aren't really big about tech or whatever, like elderly customers especially, right? Like they'll say, oh, I don't know how to use this or whatever. So we have a landing page for our reviews set up where it takes you directly to Facebook and Google. We have a QR code. We also use a Google Tap card, which are super easy to get. You can find them on Etsy and stuff like that. And then you just put in your website. But we just flat out ask the customer and then we follow up with them. So usually what will happen for me is if my guys have closed out a job, if they don't get a review right away, we'll generally check. And then I will personally follow up with the customer as well. And so it takes a lot of effort and time, but I follow the guys throughout the day. And then I'll text or call that customer personally and say, hey, my name is Mike. I'm the owner. Just wanted to make sure you had a great experience. And then if they, assuming they say yes, which most of the time they do, then I send them my link personally. And then I also have a follow-up system where they actually get a link 2 days later as well. So it's kind of just that continue to follow up because people really do get busy. And sometimes, it's kind of like the overload with notifications nowadays and stuff. So I think you just have to be persistent and polite and just, hey, this is what I need from you. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
And most people are. So.
Well, I think the personal service, like it honors them when you call them from the owner. Like right now we do a business. A lot of CRMs are really good at reminding you via text and email. But some of that it turns into white noise. But if the owner or somebody actually calls me and directly asks for it, goes a long way. When did you decide to prioritize that as way to spend time on your business to take that extra personal touch?
Yeah. Almost right away, honestly. So I try to be as disciplined as I possibly can. So I'm a very structured, person when it comes to whatever it is, laying out my day or my business or my personal life, whatever. So, the first few months it was a little bit slower. And I think we kind of hesitated to just be direct and transparent with customers in that way. I would ask them one time for a review and then they'd say, oh yeah, sure, I'll get to it. And then I just wouldn't bug them.
Yeah.
And then I think for me, I don't know, maybe in the last few months, I had this epiphany where, I'm looking at my competitors and I'm seeing them getting 10, 15, 20 reviews a month. And I'm like, no, I'm going to take this guy on, right? It's I make it this mental competition of my own, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so as ridiculous as it sounds, is I'll pick one of my competitors in the near area and be like, okay, they're at 150 reviews. Well, maybe I can pass them next month, right? So last month, for instance, we made a huge focus out of it. We made an internal competition with our crew, and we got 25 reviews last month, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. It takes a lot of effort, but we all have we kind of have fun with it, right? So I don't know if that answered your question.
No, I think that's great. And now I'm curious with 150 reviews, are people looking at those before they calling you? Are they representing? How do you feel that's helping you take the next step of your business?
I think it really just helps with credibility, right? If you look at, my Google search rankings, my SEO, my local SEO, I still have, a huge mountain to climb, right? Some of my competitors have been in business 5, 10 years, right? The big franchises in the area, they've been operating for 10 plus years. So for me to gain on them, I just have to be super persistent. I have to be on top of my game. So for me, I think I've had a few customers that have actually referenced the reviews. I've even had a couple commercial clients where they'll say, hey, I called these 2 other guys. They didn't come on time or something happened. I looked on Google. You had great reviews. If you can be here today, the business is yours. And I'm like, yeah, I drop everything that I'm doing and I go do it, So, and I think Colorado's kind of a different community too, right? With you've got the Front Range metro area and then you've got some of these smaller mountain towns. Mm-hmm. And I've had that happen a few times with customers where they say, hey, I'm up in Lyons or Red Feather or whatever. Are you willing to come up here? I'm like, yeah, like, of course I am. Okay, well, I've had a couple other people cancel on me for no reason. Like, yeah, if I tell you I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there at that time, right?
Yeah.
So, and that follows up in the reviews too.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. So let's get into like your networking efforts. And so one thing that I've seen, Mike, is that you've made a very conscious effort to engage in the networking scene in Northern Colorado. And what's been your overall philosophy, strategy? What are you hoping to accomplish with your networking efforts?
Yeah, I mean, so for me as a new business, only been in operation for 8 months, really it's just getting the word out there about myself and the business and building, positive, healthy relationships, right? I would say some of the folks that I've met in the different groups, like I'm not going to be a great referral partner for them because maybe they're in financial services or whatever. But it's still talking with them and having that camaraderie and that rapport where like maybe it's even just us lending a positive, mention or a vibe or whatever it is that month. And then they remember me down the road or vice versa. I do the same for them. So really it's just, getting out there and pounding the pavement and talking to people. So.
Well, you struck me as a very genuine guy. Like you're building relationships, you're going about it the right way. What are some of your goals? Like, where's Rubbish Works going?
Yeah.
I know you're of Northern Colorado, but more and more people are starting to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
What's the vision?
Oh gosh, would love to continue to take market share just by showing up every day and providing great service. Eventually would love to expand maybe down further south into Denver and stuff like that. But right now the primary focus is definitely, Northern Colorado. So Wyoming border down to Boulder, out to Greeley. So we actually just added a second truck.
Nice.
And that's, kind of a leap of faith because I don't always have the business to sustain that, but it's, it's hopefully the networking will help that. And we just, continue to show up and be disciplined and structured and get out there.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to watch all of your growth. How much of your clients are, hey, I have this one job.
Yeah.
It's like a one incident versus, hey, I need you to consistently come in and help with the cleanup.
It's funny. I would say junk removal is not necessarily impulsive. I mean, there is some of that, but it's also like on demand. Like I find a lot of our customers if it's not an estate, clean out or someone's moving or something like that, it's like they just started tackling their garage or basement and they realize they're in over their head.
Sure.
I would say probably 90% plus is that kind of one-off customer, but I do have a lot of repeat clients. We've had some realtors that have been great repeat referral type clients for us. And I also have a couple different homeowners where I know them by name now. Like they'll send me a text and say, hey, I've got something else for you. And I think that's just because we treated them well and, we were respectful, professional, and like had a decent price and we provided them with value. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Some people will, like I've had a few clients, I just had one last week. I want to say I've done 4 jobs for them now. So yeah.
Well, I was thinking about the key situations, right? Like moving, obviously trying to get rid, or downsizing, or and people get attached to their stuff. I mean, it's
people really do.
So how do you navigate that with people who are like, oh, I know I need to throw it away or get rid of this stuff, but very attached?
I think it's just being respectful and, and like the way I've actually had it both ways. Like I've had estate cleanouts where, people are like, I just get rid of everything. I want it done. And sometimes you'll find something and you're like, hey, like, this is, your parents' whatever memories or something about your family. Like, are you sure you want to get rid of that?
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll have those conversations, but we try to be polite about it because you never know what they're going through, what's going through their heads. And then other clients, like if you can always tell those people that are going to be difficult, right? Like generally if you got to that stage where it's like hoarding or quasi hoarding or whatever, like it's because they had an attachment to those items. So you just present it respectfully and say, hey, like you got us here, you're paying us a service. Like, I think you can let go.
Yeah.
We usually let them make the decision though, obviously. So yeah.
How much do you know what you're walking into when you get the phone call?
Oh boy.
You're like, hey, I have this thing. And then you show up on the job. How directly do those match the expectations to the reality?
Usually never. I would say in our business, generally everyone always wants to get the best price, right? So they'll
Sure.
be like, oh, I only have a little bit of stuff. And then you get there and you're like, wow, yeah, you have like 5 trucks. But yeah, it usually doesn't, you know. People are a bad judgment of volume, I would say. So, especially if it entails dirt.
Sure.
Ton of labor and time and effort goes into that. So
They'll just haul it away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. I just, I'm sure you've seen a lot of things,
Yeah.
And another thing too, it's like you're in people's business, like you're in their homes, like you're in their backyards or into their families, right? If they're going through things. How do you navigate the clients, like why you're actually doing the work and building those relationships?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we don't try to be like their best friends necessarily, but we try to be really polite and positive. And, you know, like when we get there and once we've quoted a job, like people want to see the guys working hard, right? And really like we just ask them simple questions, you know, tell me about your life or your story, like how long have you guys lived here, all that kind of stuff. Especially in the difficult situations where you know there's like they're navigating or transiting a difficult time in their lives. Like you just ask them simple things, right? Like about their family or their day or what they do for work, that kind of thing. So I think that usually puts people at ease and you just build a quick connection. And, you know, if they trust you, they want to work with you and it goes better. So.
Awesome. Have you ever found any hidden treasure? Like you're digging through something, like, what is this? And it's maybe something super rare or valuable.
It's funny because like everybody has their little precious things, right?
Yeah.
We've found some cool stuff. I'm a big camper. So like you know, we won't take chemicals and like gas and stuff like that. But I've had a couple times where they're like, hey, I have this old camping stove or like I have enough little of those like camping propane bottles now to save me for my entire life probably. So if you ever need one, let me know. But yeah, like my guys, like they've found, one of them's really big into lifting. He found a workout bench. We found some really cool military memorabilia. So I'm a veteran, so that was cool for me too. But yeah, like we had this one estate clean out where we worked with a realtor and we were like, hey, we found dozens of photo albums from, you know, this one gentleman's career in Vietnam and Korea and all this kind of stuff. So that stuff's pretty cool when you see that. And you know it's valuable to the family too. So sometimes they don't even know that stuff exists.
Wow.
You know, so that's pretty fun.
Really cool. You know, I'm thinking of like who you are for your clients, who you are for your community, but also like making the decision to buy Rubbish Works and to go like, right, it's a competitive space and you're looking up to people who've been in the market 5-10 years. Yeah. You come in getting the 5-star Google reviews like, hey, I have a place in the market too, but then getting best of, like it's really cool. So give some words of encouragement or advice to another entrepreneur who might be looking to, maybe they have some passion or they see an opportunity, but it's a competitive space.
I think you just got to keep showing up, right? Like you made that decision to become a business owner, an entrepreneur, investor, whatever it may be. Like you need to give it 110%, right? Like there's never going to be an easy day. When I first got into this, someone told me, they were like, you know, when people buy into a small business or they start something like they think they're going to have freedom, right? Like they just left corporate America behind and it's in their rear view and they never have to worry about it. And this one guy told me, he's like, well, that's not true. But what you do have is freedom of time. Like you can choose what to make important for you yourself on any given day. And for me, like showing up for my clients is super important. Showing up for my employees is super important just to make sure they have what they need. And when it's time to network and build relationships, like just give it all that focus, right? Yeah. So like in the groups that we're in, there's so many people that have been really a positive influence for me. And so even if I'm having a tough day or something like that, or things aren't going great, maybe I've got an empty schedule for that day or something. Like I just think, okay, what can I do that's productive today and try and leave a positive spin on it.
Yeah. So, and that's a lot of the entrepreneurs behind the scenes. It's not all the shiny stuff. It's like, man, there's some pressure on there.
Yeah. Calm on the surface and crazy down below. Yeah.
Well, Michael, I appreciate you coming on the show. There's people watching this and maybe they want to network with the best junk removal company in Northern Colorado.
I hope so.
So how do they get a hold of you? How do they reach out to you?
So cell phone or email. Can I share my?
Yeah, sure.
So, My email's mkane, MKANE @rubbishworks.com. And my cell's 970-402-8879.
Right on. Well, check out his website, see some of the before and afters that he has, or come network with us and network with Mike. And but Mike, thanks so much for coming on the show. It's been awesome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Right on. Hey all, thanks for watching. I love networking and building relationships with other Northern Colorado business leaders. So if you want to come meet some of these podcast guests, meet me, or meet some other amazing entrepreneurs in Northern Colorado, I would love to have you attend one of our next events. Go in the podcast description. There's a ways that you can see our upcoming schedule, and maybe you could be a future podcast guest as well. Thanks.